to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu. King Teliano, is that you?
202, what it do?
This is episode 202 of Mic Check, waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex and Don'tTalkShop.com. It's also brought to you by our Patreon producers. Make sure you go to patreon.com/MicCheckWaifu to get early access to the video version of the podcast, get access to our exclusive Patreon podcast, The After Story, as well as other exclusive content like read-alongs, watch-alongs, etc. And remember, it's on Patreon only content. We appreciate y'all for supporting us there. It totally helps us out. It means a lot to us. Remember, you can support us for just $1 or above to get access to all that stuff. And we appreciate everybody that do. But we got to give a special shout out to our producers. Shout out to Dre the Goat G, Johnny from Show Go High, Cat the Pro from Chaotic Culture and Show Go High, Explicitly, Monique Williams, Nachi, and Saphir. Thank y'all so much for producing this and many other episodes of the podcast. We appreciate y'all for supporting us. It means the world to us. Couldn't do it without y'all. Now, big show today because it is the spring midterms. Yeah. Every season we do a midterm. I guess you can call it gut check of everything that we've watched so far and how we feeling about it, including getting y'all's input into this particular program. This particular part of the season, because we're very interested to see where y'all at, what y'all watching, what y'all stop watching, if anything caught your eyes and whatnot. We got a lot to get into though. Before we do that, I gotta ask Tel, how you feeling?
So we kind of talked about it a little bit before we started recording, but yeah, I'm good. Baby boy went to the dentist today. He got a free toy, and then we also bought him some toys for doing so good. But yeah, it's been a good week. Wife graduated.
Yes, that's what I want to hear about. Yes, go.
Mother's Day. Sadly, first Mother's Day without my grandmother.
I'm sorry. But yeah,
it's a lot of. It was good. Still a lot of good stuff happened. My mom and my aunts and stuff. They did a regular brunch thing, like my grandma was there. You know what I mean? So
ain't it was kind of
that's dope. Ain't nothing changed. They just went on about their business. How about you, brother? What's going on with you?
It's been a hard week because I can't see. So this
I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault, man. It's mine. This really heavy episode is gonna be a little rough for me because I don't have glasses right now. Luckily, I just got the email confirmation today that they've been shipped out. So it should be here sometime this week. But I normally keep 2 pairs of glasses on me, glasses, and I have one gold pair, my Ray-Bans. I had them. Came home one day from Tel's house. I don't know where they went. They completely disappeared. They're gone. Like I can't find them anywhere. I checked all around this house. I can't find them. Then I go to Tel's house. This time I have a ride at Tel's house. So I go to Tel's house and I work out. I'm so exhausted. The hardest workout we've done that day. I forget my glasses at his house. Now, Tel lives an hour and 25 minutes away from me.
That's with traffic.
No, it is. It's without traffic. It's an hour and 25 minutes. With traffic, it's even longer. So I'm like, I obviously can't drive because I'm legally blind. I'm legally not supposed to drive without my glasses. So I can't go pick them up. So now I just been stuck in the house, barely been able to see anything. Struggling. A bit hard. Tough week for anything that I have to read. But it's all good. So we got some new ones coming in. They should be here this week. I'm excited about that. But yeah. So forgive me if I fumble on some words today while I'm reading y'all grades, but I got to. These are some of my favorite episodes we do. Besides reintroductions, I really do love these midterms because I love to see what people have to say about the seasons as we're watching them. Because most of you enjoy watching the seasons with us, and to hear y'all thoughts, except with the exclusion of Rob J. Rob J decided to not give us thoughts this week because we use Rob J's thoughts a lot in our conversations. We appreciate you, brother. I can't wait to have him on the show though, so he can be a part of the conversations in real time. It's gonna be a fantastic episode, especially since it's a review. But I digress. Yeah, I'm good though. Let's get to the into the meat and potatoes kind of early though. What was your let me see. Do I want to go most interesting? Let's just go with episode of the week this week.
Insomniacs After School episode of the week for me.
Great episode. Great. Ooh, man, that's a good one. For me, I'm gonna go ahead and go with The Dangers in My Heart. I really, really, really like this week's episode. That show's turned out like, dude, at first when I watched it, and I'm gonna get into this later when the grades start, but at first when I watched it, I'm like, man, I won't be able to do this because it just seems too ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But it grows on you so quick, so fast, and you're on their side, basically. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's a great little story. Very different than your Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible or Teasing Master Tagia-san's. But it's the same concept, different execution, which I love.
Probably better developmentally then. That's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Got some better developmentally than Kubo. No, that show was just fantastic. And
yeah.
Speaking of that, it's gonna be live by the time you're hearing this. Episode 7. We'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, it's tomorrow. So we're gonna get back to talking about that next week probably. But yeah, that'll be my episode of the week. As always, when we do our midterm grades, we discuss, like I said, the midpoint, which is around 6, 7, is around like where these episodes are right now. Most of them are around episode 6. So it's kind of like the perfect time to do this because most shows this season have 12 episodes. So with that being said, we're going to start off with some of the listeners. Some of the listeners, I just saw Nachi's reply because I just told him he made it just in the nick of time. But some of the listeners' grades, and we're going to discuss them from here. We're going to start off with Rob J because he's a short and simple and to the point. B+ for me. Which, spoiler alert, there is it's very much so the consensus. All right, starting with Crystal though, she says I give it a B/B-. Some of the watches on my list are better than others. Almost everything is keeping my full attention. That's when I had to reply to. I'm like, yeah, facts, because big time facts. -1 or 2. No, specifically 1 for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. It's very hard to keep my attention, and we're gonna get a lot of this during this conversation. But fucking Heavenly Delusion, man. God damn it, bro. I'm actually sick of it. I know a lot of people don't like to hear that.
So
I'm starting to. People starting to lean more towards our way, though.
It's just it's
funny enough.
The storytelling is slow,
very slow,
and unnecessarily slow. I do think I'm gonna try and read it and just see maybe if the context is better in reading. But I'm not gonna try and pass it though. You know what I mean? Because I do think that it's interesting enough to where that part could be maybe that'll make it more interesting. Mm-hmm. But I'm not sure. And when I catch up, I can speak to that on the next episode. So we'll do that next episode where I'll read it, catch up to where we are now, and see if it's better. If it's a better read over watch, because the watch is not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a question from last week after the episode aired. TCBNYC_NYC said, I agree to disagree on most of the takes on Heavenly Delusion. Might check waifu. That said, I'm preferring one side of the plot than the other. I'm also theorizing on how the two stories are connected, though I am reading the manga alongside this, so I'm probably biased. Yeah, we tried our theorizing, and again, I think our way of it being one of the past and one of the now. One of the past is the reason of the now being a more interesting story. Maybe that's because that's the summertime rendering in me. You know what I'm saying? I prefer the way they told that story and how fucking well it captured the time aspect of it and how the drama unfold. But these are two different stories going on simultaneously, where one story didn't even have a segment this episode, and I did not even miss it. I didn't even think about it. It didn't even cross my mind until I literally started talking about this right now, reading TCB's question that we didn't even see what is going on in the school this week.
At all.
So is it even important? Nah. It's not that interesting if I completely forgot about it, to be fair. Maybe next week the whole episode is going to be that school, which would fucking suck because I hate that part. I don't like it. It's so boring. It's so boring. I know it's supposed to be like little pieces with some intrigue, but I'm not intrigued. I'm more intrigued with what's going on with the current timeline.
They haven't.
What's up?
I was gonna say they haven't like locked us into those characters in any way yet, though. And that's the problem, right? Like it's not like 86. 86 had us locked in on both sides of the story. You know what I mean? So that's where like I said, I understand, and even our main plot line sometimes gets a little atrocious. Like it just don't match up right. Some things ain't right for me. I was watching some episodes. I was like, this don't make sense to me for even a post-apocalyptic world. Like some of these things just don't make sense. You would think you would look out for this. I get it. Maybe I'm being too critical or too analytical, but I think that yes, you know what, like if one timeline is far more easy to forget than the other, then yeah, we need to go ahead and maybe even talk about splitting that up entirely. Like just cut that part down. I don't know.
Yeah, do something to make it more interesting. But I would say, to be honest, that's probably the only thing, spoiler alert, for what's been like rough on the watch side of things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Let's go to J. Lee Trey from Shogo High. He says, right now, Spring is given an A-, and I'm giving that just on watchability, if that's a word. Watchability is a word. And attention-grabbing content from the shows this season. Lots of underrated sleepers for sure. Underrated sleepers. I would agree.
Yes.
One of my favorite sleepers, I think, that hit me out of nowhere like a truck is that cheat skill, man. And I'm gonna give the full title because I never get a full title, but here's the full title. I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the world 2. That fucking show has been a nice, quiet sleeper.
I mean, yeah, it's not quiet on this show because we both love that one.
Facts.
But yeah, I think we always end up having one of those sleepers that's just real good, and we both talking about it, and it's not talked about as much.
Yep.
But yeah, that's actually Cheat Skill one of the most heat anime so far is this specific season for me. But hear me out, bro. You remember what I said about Mashal? About not watching it?
Yeah.
Why these last 2 episodes impressed me, bro?
Oh, let me Montel way real quick if you don't mind. Nachi, one of our Patreon producers, the GOAT, says a solid B for me. We had some really good new shows that slapped and some that disappointed. I'm looking at you, Heavily Delusion and Mashal. My favorite so far has been Insomniacs After School. This show making me want to do astrophotography for real.
I swear.
Facts. So, okay, talk to me about Mashal though, because he said it's still disappointing. And Nachi is like, Nachi got just about the same taste as us. I see him because I follow him on AniList. He follows us on AniList. And I see his watches and it's like almost parallel to what we've watching. And he seems to be on the same page as us when it comes to these shows.
You know how sometimes you need something where you can just turn your brain off and it's good when you do that? Yeah, like that face you made right there, like almost like you just bit into that like Red Lobster cheddar biscuit.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't because
you can't go in. But I'm sorry.
I'm allergic to seafood.
You got the Texas Roadhouse biscuit with that creamy garlic butter.
Yeah.
All right, but the principle is this though, is that like I was sitting down and I'm just watching Mashal, bro.
And you just like got a smile on your face.
Yeah, I'm chilling with the kids and it's on. And I watched the baby turn her head and just watch Mashal. I'm just like, okay, maybe I should watch this too. And I feel like I just turned my brain off, and it was like, yo, this is actually kind of okay. And I love the main character's personality now. It's something about it because, as you already know, he doesn't have magic, and he did this thing called tricep magic. He just knocked everything out the way with his tricep strength, and I'm just like, yo, this is stupid, like bro.
That. You would.
Stupid. It's stupid, bro. But it's actually, I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. Nice. I wouldn't even say the show is necessarily good, but it's like I was enjoying it. And it's wild because it's not like poorly animated or nothing. It's just not great, but it's okay.
You know what that reminds me of?
What's that?
Majority of last season. Last season, we had a bunch of that stuff
to turn your brain off for. Yeah,
a bunch of stuff where you just turn your brain off and you just kind of sit down and watch it. Some more enjoyable than others, but there's like that farming one where this guy get isekai in this farm and he's fucking just finding all these people to join. It inevitably becomes a new village in this new world, and in a place where it's not supposed to be a village because it's like one of the toughest forests in the world, and he just built a village there, and it was just so candidly put that smile on my face when I'm watching it. It's not great. It's not going to blow your socks off with the storytelling or character development or anything like that.
Right.
But, I mean, that it was a lot of that last season, hence why majority of everybody else gave it a bottom C minus, because it was what we call what somebody called, I'm gonna say, quality mid, and that leads me to a Polo way. If you don't know that. So this Polo way goes to O. Shout out to O. He says, actually his at name is at Oasis3457. If you want to give him a follow on Twitter, he's a dope dude. He says, B minus for me, only due to the lack of quality mid. The top shows are performing as they should, but the quality mid hasn't delivered compared to last season for me, which is perfectly what we just discussed.
That's what and I was looking at that tweet from him. And I was like, quality mid is a great phrase, bro.
It really is.
Because it's like, that's exactly what it is. It's like, it's mid, but it has a consistency that just makes it enjoyable. That's all you need.
Right. It
ain't gotta be amazing. And I feel like we don't have a ton of quality, like specifically mid, but we got some really, really good stuff this season. Like, I don't know, bro. Galaxy Next Door, I can't call it mid.
No.
Yeah, I absolutely cannot, even though it's not like specifically a star. It's Time Next After School. I can't call it mid. It's just, I can't do it. Hell's Paradise can't be called mid. Shoot, if we got quality mid, it's not My Home Hero, because that's just mid.
Exactly. Which is fine, and that's okay. Like, it's not. I'm not as let's say, as captivated with My Home Hero, but I'm there. I'm here for it. I don't. Right. I'm starting to pick up my phone less when I'm watching it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's an accomplishment in and of itself, because what happened when My Home Hero first came out was I would pick up my phone, I would start scrolling, I'm like, oh shit, I've missed something. Let me rewind it, pause it. I paused it and I would just keep scrolling on my phone like,
Polo spend an hour watching one anime.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm on fucking Team Stream rather than fucking watching it, because it can't hold my attention. It's attacking my ADHD apparently. But other than that, man, it's a middling show, and it's okay. It's not a bad show. The only one I would consider, let's do this. Out of the ones we talked about so far, what has the lowest grade for you so far? So we
just talked about?
We talked about Cheat. We talked about My Home Hero. We just talked about Heavenly Delusion. You just mentioned Galaxy Next Door. Out of those, what has the lowest score? And give your grade.
It's got to be My Home Hero.
The lowest grade. Interesting.
Out of all of those? Yeah.
Because you mentioned Heavenly Delusion too. I just want to make sure you like Heavenly Delusion more than My Home Hero?
Let's say, I mean, Right now, I don't know. They both kind of tied for like a C
I was
minus.
just about to say that. And you know what that means? They're the same, bro. They're the same. They're just C's, bro. In my eyes, you say C minus, you're probably more, more strict than I am, but they're just C's. They're just so middling of the road. And that's okay. That's okay. So 2 of the lowest grades for us already are My Home Hero and Heavenly Delusion with the same grade.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
Because I would even put Mashall's last 2 episodes as more enjoyable than those. So
Right. Let's go to TCB again. He says a solid B. Overall, I'm into a lot more stuff than last season, fitting more of my wheelhouse. Sorry, Sabres started chasing it, still right behind me. More fitting around my wheelhouse with a slice of life goodness. We've been getting a couple of under radar gems. I'm personally looking forward to each week from 3 of them. And different shonen is delivering for me. Rhymes also hitting for me. Sorry. Again, really hard to see. Yeah, definitely. The ROMs is the rom-coms is again, Dangers in My Heart, fantastic. The slice of life of Galaxy Next Door has been astonishingly good. I don't think I had an episode where I considered that show bad in any way.
I'd have to agree. I feel like Oshinoko first episode really good. I'll say like the next episode after that was like middling, but I feel like everything else went up after that.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more.
So Oshinoko, I wouldn't even get at like a B to a high B right now. Yeah, so it's like it's some real solid, good stuff this season.
Yeah. Well, let's see. More slice of life that's hidden. Oshinoko, like you mentioned, is great. Insomniacs After School is great. Dangers in My Heart. I'm telling you, y'all, if y'all haven't checked it out, watch it. The first episode is very, very strange, but you gradually fall into it and fall in love with it, as I did. And then the Cafe Terrace and His Goddesses. It's an ecchi comedy. Again, I wish it didn't have the ecchi title because I believe more people will watch it if it didn't, because it's not as ecchi as you would think. It's not anything of raunchy, tasteless etchiness. It's very tasteful. I say this all the time. It's very tasteful, and the comedic beats are great with a great cast of characters that you want to know more about. So, highly underrated. Highly underrated. Let's see here.
One that I know is not going to get talked about much. Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury. This like midway point is really, really like, I'm gonna say the previous episode really good. This most recent episode, I feel like they kind of put their foot in their mouth, right? Which makes me almost feel like this show's grade has a drop from like a B to like a C plus.
As a returning. Well, we're gonna get to those. That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. Let's go to actually Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Make sure you guys check out the Dad Needs to Talk podcast, aka Rob, the father of Vash. He says, I'll give it a solid B plus. Due to life and fatherly duties, I haven't been able to watch as much as I usually do. But the handful I watch are great, and they make me want to watch them weekly. Skipping Loafer, Insomniacs After School, Hell's Paradise, Oshinoko, and Heavenly Delusion. And a Heavenly Delusion popping up.
Well, he said he's skipping that one, though, right?
No, these are shows that he's want to watch every weekly.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey, to each his own, and I love his taste.
Me too.
Normally, I feel like it's on point, so I'm gonna give him that one. I'm gonna let him slide on that one.
For sure. Skipping Loafer for me. Every time I try to turn it on, I just feel like I don't belong here, and I turn it off. Skipping Loafer. It's a slice of life romance, and normally that's my shit. But for some reason, it's the shoujo point of view that I could never gel with. So I let that go. Like that level 999 shoujo one.
Yeah,
I can't touch it. Dreamy guys aren't my thing. I'm sorry.
Hey, you can't give it a fair shot if it's not your thing. You know what I mean?
That's a fact. Exactly right, and that's exactly how I see it. Shout out to Saphir. Saphir is one of the Patreon producers as well. He says, seeing a lot of B's, and I have to agree. While there are a lot of quality shows, still feel like there aren't enough shows to get you hooked. Currently watching like 6 or 7 shows. which I think that's a good time for us to talk about how many shows we're exactly watching. Let's count it. Let's count that out. Give us a little pregnant pause, if you will, because I'm not cutting this out. For one, because it's Monday and I'm not gonna have no time to cut anything out, so everything is gonna be in this episode. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, I should count in my head.
All right. I'm currently watching 16
How
weekly.
the fuck am I watching 16 weekly? We are crazy, bro. We are both watching 16 weekly. I didn't even think, why are we watching so much? Holy shit. Yeah, 16 weekly.
That's not including the returning, you know?
Yeah, because I didn't count Villain Saga, and I'm watching that, obviously.
They didn't count I mean like Nier and Misfit. They're not back yet.
Kubo,
so
yeah, they're still not back. Well, next week we'll add Kubo to that, which only has a few more episodes left, but still. Sheesh. Okay. Yikes. What's funny is shout out to at Miss Extreme Keita. Keita says, due to life and motherly duties, I give this season an A. Some animes have kept me on my toes and has been entertaining so far. She says Oshinoko, Demon Slayer, while Raylenia ended up at the Duke's mansion, Skipping Loafer, and Mashle. While Raylenia, that makes more sense. While Raylenia ended up at the Duke's mansion is one title. It just was on a different line, so I got confused. But Skipping Loafer and Mashle. That's so crazy. She basically said the same thing that Dad Needs to Talk said, but a little bit different shows.
What did she say? B plus or B?
She gave it an A.
A. Oh, my bad.
Yeah. She says they kept her on her toes and they've been very entertaining so far. We also have somebody who don't follow us, so I'm not going to read. That's petty, but we gotta do what we gotta do.
Yeah, taking the bandwidth.
True. Let's see here. Any more quote retweets that I missed?
A.
That's it.
B plus.
Now we go into our thoughts. 16 shows, man.
All right. So how we feeling about let's look at this first. The top of the list. What's the top of this season right now?
Funny
Galaxy
enough.
Next Door. What's that?
Okay, go ahead. I was going to ask you.
Yeah, you can say funny enough.
Yeah, funny enough, there's a lot that is carrying, like you were saying. I was even going to say, what's at the top of my list that's probably going to shock the world?
What?
Dr. Stone. I've been enjoying it way more than in years past, to be honest.
And I can tell you exactly why.
Why is that?
They cut out exactly what we hated.
Yes.
The 5-minute explanation on the experiments.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of that I do miss. I miss that a little bit more. They just need to cut out this fucking comedy. These comedy sections are so egregiously overly tuned.
Yeah,
That's still their problem, but the story intrigue has me much more this time than it has ever before. Because I didn't care about the war that they never seemed to want to get to. Like that shit felt like I was watching One Piece at one point. And this time they're moving while still getting this explanation, but not as much.
A year passed, bro.
Exactly. Which again, I do miss the explanations that Senku gave season one through episodes like 1 through 8 or whatever it may have been. Maybe 1 through 6 would be the perfect amount. Is when he would slowly build up this stuff, because now like it's a little egregiously forward when it comes to all of a sudden we got this motor that's flawlessly made, or this boat engine that's flawlessly made and just bypassed everything and not the pieces and parts that came with it. But I guess they did show that in previous season when they talked about the little pieces and stuff that they've acquired. So they can just throw that stuff together like Lego pieces and call it done. So I mean, if that's the way they're moving, they have to be a little bit more consistent. Because if they got all that, then they got guns, basically. Even though I know they said they would never do that, but you get the gist of what I'm saying.
Right.
So it's just, I don't know. I'm loving it a lot more than years past. So if I had to give Dr. Stone a grade right now, it'd be a B.
Yeah,
which would never come from me.
I mean, it definitely would come from you. You gave it a B.
Which you would never think come from me. I should.
Yeah, I can't argue with that because I feel like that's pretty accurate. It's almost it feels like just about as good as the beginning of Dr. Stone was. So I mean, I can definitely agree with that. But like I'm talking about, let's say we look at things like let's talk about Hell's Paradise. Oh, that's definitely top of this season right now.
Yeah.
I would assume both of us is giving this either an A or close to an A, if anything. But like, you know, it's been consistent. Every episode has some kind of intrigue, some kind of story. And then the perspectives in terms of like how they don't show something and lead you in a direction until they show you something. I love how they actually position this show to us.
It's phenomenal. I love how it's not afraid to completely switch perspectives, but keep that interesting, because that's hard to do. It's something that My Hero had trouble with in season 4, was switch perspectives and keep it as interesting and engaging. Hell's Paradise does that effortlessly with some of these other prisoners and executioners that they're with, and the situations that they get put in. It's a beautifully well done story and executed show, which, again, you asked me at the beginning of the season, did I think Hell's Paradise was going to get an A from me in the spring midterms? I would have told you, nah, probably not. It's probably some meathead joint that I'm probably going to drop after 4. No, this is one of my favorite shows this season. It gets an A. So it's, again, incredible pacing. I feel like I'm so interested to see how big this place is, because now we're getting layers and layers and layers. Now we're getting a knowledge drop that it didn't feel like it could have came at a better time. Like, it's a perfect time for this knowledge drop that we got in the most recent episode, which we ain't going to spoil here. We're going to wait till the second half of the show to spoil. But the knowledge drop that we got was fucking huge, man. And it just kicked the intrigue up 20 times more. Well, I'm interested to see if the brothers, you know, are here.
Survive.
Yeah, I can't hold back my enthusiasm about this show. It's fantastic. I try to tell it to everybody that comes in my Twitch stream. Hey man, what's some good anime to watch? Because I know people love their meathead shit. I know that people isn't necessarily looking for the story, but I want this story to just fucking enthrall people like it did me, and entertain you with the blood and gore and
flashiness.
Yes, pure flashiness of it. I love it all. To talk about another one that's been performing well, again, top of the list for a lot of people, including us, will probably be Oshinoko. This one, it's impressive, man. It's impressive. I'm so glad that it's not a complete idol show, because I probably would have turned this shit off a long time ago. I can't stand idol, magical girl shows. That's just not my shit. And this one, again, did something on a genre, took a spin to it that is unbelievably intriguing. Intriguing is going to be my word of this episode. It's probably always my word in this show. But I cannot wait to see what goes on here, because this whole real world situation that they in now, or that our main protagonist is in, is very super dope, man. I'm loving the many faces that this dude is wearing.
Yeah, this show is definitely about the layers.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, we love some layers, but I love it because it's like he got his regular everyday life, his acting life, and then I got a goal in the background life.
Yeah.
And I love seeing that goal in the background life. I do, sincerely. I really want to see how that plays out.
Yeah. So for me, for this one, I feel like it could pick up the pace a little bit more. So that's why this is only going to get a B for me. But I do think it's so good. Like, it's so good. Very slow. And we don't have that much of it. We only got 11 episodes of it. So we have to get somewhere at a pace that makes sense.
Right. If I had to get this one rating, it's probably be a B+ right now.
B+, okay.
Yeah. Not much higher than yours, but definitely higher than yours.
Favorite parts about it? You said the layers, right?
Yeah, it's the layers. It's always the layers. And like the characters that are meant to stand out for me, I feel like they're all reasonably likable in some extent. And I do think that there's obviously parts about them you don't like. There's obviously characters who are introduced who are shady and are meant to be shady, and that more information gets disclosed as things go on. Mm-hmm. So I really want to see the same, right? I want to see the same as like what happens as things get divulged and more things unfold in general. So that's where the show has me hooked in, because I'm like, all right, I'm ready to see what happens now. And I'm loving seeing, you know, like you said, these masks he wears to get through each situation. So
cool. What you got next?
Dead Mount Death Play. Now,
yeah.
Now we was feeling hype about this to begin with, right? The beginning of this season, we probably would have had like, oh yeah, that first episode, it seemed like it's gonna be top of the this season. I'm gonna give you my thoughts because I don't want you to. I know how you feel. At least I think I know how you feel. I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Talk to me.
I think after that first episode, it had an extreme lull for me, right? Not an extreme lull, but I did not think it was going to go in a direction that we were going to like. And I was hoping it was going to go in a direction we were going to like. I feel like it's still not in that direction. It took a different direction, though. Something different than I expected. Like, I thought it was going to be way more just like cookie cutter principle, like understandable. Like, he comes to this world, they're going to try and subdue him, something like that, and whatever. But I do like to see kind of like where they came in with this opposition, more or less. But it's still not great. If that makes any sense. Oh, yeah. Like this show has to be like I'm gonna say a B- to a C+ for me.
Interesting. Yeah. This one, well, you know, because it's making me want to readjust, because I gave Heavily Delusion in my home. You know what? I'm gonna do it. This show, like you say, everything you said, I almost agree with wholeheartedly. The direction they took that's different is less interesting than I anticipated, because I thought I would be more interested in where they're going, but I don't. Now we're introducing other aspects of magic it's just getting too much.
Convoluted.
Yeah, I love the fact that he came in this isekai, as every isekai do, as a fish out of water. But now we're slowly starting to fucking fill the tank with the same water they basically came from, with this other supernatural people. Like, I don't understand what quite is going on there, and it's making me lose interest faster than I'm gaining it or more intrigued. While again, I kind of gauge stuff on when I'm watching it on if I am distracted. If I get distracted by anything else, then that's how I know I'm not feeling it. And this one belongs in that category with Heavenly Delusion and My Home Hero. For me, it's a C. It's a flat C, because while the first episode is very interesting, and I'm more intrigued with this one because it seemed so unique, it kind of fell in that middling tier for me. So for me, a C. And that's kind of crazy. I think it's maybe one more that belongs there, maybe a little bit slightly higher than that, but it's only for the fact that I enjoy it, and I'm gonna go there next, and that's that's The Aristocrat in the Other World. Okay, let me read the proper title as we do. The Aristocrat's Otherworldly Adventures Serving Gods Who Go Too Far. This is it's not good, but it's
not. It's good.
Exactly. It's not a good show, but it's a good show. You know, this is my mashal, you know, where you turn your brain off and you just kind of sit there and you just smile and just whatever, bro. It's whimsical. It's crazily over the top and overtuned in every possible way, but it leaves you with such joy watching it that you can't help but to enjoy it, strangely enough. This is also this is probably one of my last bottom of the tier ones, and gets a C+ though, Because for me, it's just enjoyable. I enjoy it so much that you can enjoy bad stuff too. And this is one of the quality mids that
that's what I was missing. It's exactly that, bro. It's quality mid because like you can definitely quantify, right? You can say, boom, this is why this show is so enjoyable. But you turn it on in the moment, you be like, damn, I don't know why this show is so enjoyable.
Why am I laughing? Why am I smiling? Yeah,
it's some shows that I would definitely say like this is a B plus or a B this season.
Yes.
That for whatever reason, this show just be having me tuned in a little bit more.
A little bit more.
I just be like, what is it about this show? And it's probably just that whimsicalness, but it's just like it's ridiculous enough, but just not too ridiculous. Like the fact that our main character can't believe how ridiculous it is probably what makes it so grounding and interesting. But either way, quality mid. Definitely like a C plus or a C, but it's just so enjoyable that it's like hard to keep it out of that upper echelon almost.
I don't pick up my phone once during this one. I'm in it. I'm just like I'm laughing, I'm fucking smiling at the silliness, outrageous bullshit that goes on in this show. Outrageous. It's so good. It's so good. Yeah. Where you want to go next? We saved our sleepers for last for those of you who are wondering.
I didn't even want to save your sleepers for last.
Huh? Oh, you want to go to it now?
Well, let's go. Let's just touch on my sleeper.
Do it.
Summon to Another World for a second time. This show is it's probably like a solid D plus for me.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, talk to
me. And hear me out. The last 2 episodes were identical. Identical. The beginning of the episode, he comes in. Him and the water beast, they're having a conversation. They go save somebody. Episode after that, same exact thing. But 3 episodes before that, same exact thing.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you only to say that you're wrong, because the episode before this one was the one where the schoolgirl, his childhood best friend, was learning her how to, I guess, fuck it, spoilers, how to find her determination with riding with our boy Setsu.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm being extra as fuck. What I'm saying more or less is that a lot of these episodes are getting repetitious. Not specifically that one, because I do remember that episode, but some of these episodes in terms of how they're laid out and what's happening and even how the episodes begin, is the repetition is getting to me. Yeah. I'm finding it extremely hard to enjoy the show. I do have it on. I do watch it. But it's just on. I gotta hope the kids are in the room with me and watching it with me. So
that's crazy to me, because I'm in that C plus range, man. I'm in a C plus range. I enjoy this more than I enjoy My Home Hero, more than I enjoy Heavily Delusion. It's just, again, while I agree with you that it's not a great show, again, I will be the first to tell you I know what a great show is, and this ain't one of them. I'll gladly say that this isn't a great show, but it's something about it that's keeping me invested. And I think what it is that we finally are going towards the overarching arc of where this war situation is coming from. Exactly. So it's like I'm more into it probably because like I like the main character. I like how chill he is and how he kind of gets shit done, and he's getting shit done in a way that I approve of, where it's like not pussyfooting around. He's like, let's move to the next, where we gotta go. Let's go.
I can agree with that for sure. I just know, like, he is one of those characters who is so vastly overpowered that he comes into the scene and it's over.
Yeah, it's great.
I hate it.
Let's go next.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Just sometimes.
No, I get what you're saying, because it does. Because if it's not anything to watch when you're watching something that you're supposed to just turn your brain off to because you know it's not good, you want to see something that's a little bit more captivating when it comes to the entertainment value of fights or something. And this show doesn't really have that, because he just kind of ends shit.
Yeah.
But You're absolutely right. Like, I cannot fault you for going D. I was just shocked that you were going to go D because I thought we were on the same page with how, it's mindless. It's quality mid. It's for me personally, but I get it. Everything you said is completely agreeable because, again, the show is not good, but it's something about it that got me. I'm here. I look at it, and when I look at my adding list and I see these episodes that I have to watch, I'm like, oh yeah, okay. I forget it's there sometimes. But like, I couldn't tell you what day it launches on either. I just turn on adding list and it's there. I'm like, oh, okay, and I watch it, and I'd be okay with that. You know what I'm saying? So, not too bad. Not too bad. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and go to let's go to. We already talked about cheat skill. I think we're. Did we give scores for that one? Grades for that one? I mean,
I don't think we gave cheat skill a grade yet.
Okay. To go with a grade, since we already talked about it, I'm gonna just go with a B+. I enjoy this quite a bit. You know what? I'm gonna go with an A. Fuck it. I don't care.
I was thinking A-. I didn't think you was gonna go to an A.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to A. I'm gonna go to A only because it shocked me. It's surprising. It's so quiet yet interesting yet
it's clean looking.
It's very clean looking, very different, man. Very different because it's an isekai where you can go back to the regular world, and the regular world is just as interesting. No, more interesting than the fantasy world.
Life.
Yeah,
it's just like life,
and that's probably why it's speaking to me so much. To be fair.
And that's what makes it dope, though, because like the real world has like action, but the action he's doing in the real world is like everyday stuff, but like safety wise, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like it's dope to see the slice of life side of it, and then he goes to the other world, and then all of a sudden it's an isekai. I love it.
Yeah,
they doing both of these sides extremely well.
True that. And to go to another returning one, I don't know if you're still watching it, but Tony Kyle Over the Moon with You, fucking fantastic. I
didn't start the second season yet. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's very more of the same, but more of the same quality slice of life where it's just cute rom-comness. And rom-comness is exactly that. It's soothing. It's very soothing to the palate. This is one of the Simo dub ones. The dub, funny enough, the dub is okay. Which I didn't think I would ever say. The dub is just okay. I think I like the sub better, but the dub is good to watch because you don't need to follow much of anything. So you just kind of sit back, relax, and enjoy these couple do, husband and wife things. So for me personally, I'm giving this one a B.
Really? That's it?
Yeah, a B.
I'm thoroughly surprised by that.
Yeah, because it's not doing anything extravagant, but it's also not doing anything bad either. So it's not a C. It's not mid. It's above average, which is a B.
All right. Returning wise, Ancient Magus Bride. Now, this season for me of Ancient Magus Bride has been like, it's almost like a palate cleanser. I think you were talking about your palate earlier. Mm-hmm. Ancient Magus Bride is legit a palate cleanser, because even when they had like, what was it, a couple episodes ago, they had the not the Grim Reaper, but the guy who was carrying the souls off and stuff like that on horseback. Like, even though it's like supposed to be like a tense moment, something about this whole anime is calming. Mm-hmm. Like, it's on and I'm just chill. In the worst case scenarios, I just feel chill in this anime. So yeah, Ancient Magus Bride for me, I'm just gonna throw my grade out there before you say anything. It's a B. It's just too clean and solid to just not to move anywhere else.
Yes, a lot less anxiety inducing than the first season was, and I'm okay with that. I do feel like she's about to pop off extremely soon. I do feel like that anxiety is about to come back.
It's like they walking us there.
Yeah, they literally walking us there, and it's been very cool. But again, there's always subplots within subplots within subplots of this show, and that's what I think. Even though it's a shoujo, I love about it because of the I hate trying to say this word, but it's very important that I try to get it out. Intricacies of
intricacies.
Yeah, intricacies of the subplots that are behind everything. So from I guess I don't want to really go into that because that's really spoilers, but from just the way it moves to what people doing, or it's always something happening in the background, and that's always important for a show like this to keep your interest when it's kind of moving at a slower pace. It's at a slower pace that kind of drip feeds great storytelling to you, and I love it. Ancient Magnus Bride is fantastic.
Even with how like the roommate act and how just watching how people act around it. Whatever.
Yep. What is this? What is that? What is that? Yeah, it's just like what you doing there is so great. And I'm gonna give it a B as well. Easily give it a B. Above all else, let's go to one of the other tops, Demon Slayer. My goodness, man. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Everybody that listens to this podcast know that Mike Check Waifu, Demon Slayer stands, if you will. Whatever you want to call it. So let me just make this easy. It's an A. It's an A. It's a fucking A, dude. It's incredible. It looks good. The pacing is beautiful. The fights, my gosh, they're incredible. So interesting, so intriguing. I'm loving this season. Every episode that it continues to increase. It's an A. Easily.
AF.
The American something league.
Nah, AAF. Nah, but yeah, bro. Yeah, it's same. Everything you said is good. Sound design, great. Animation, great. Pacing right now, fire. Characters right now, fire. I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's all. And that could be the circumstances that they put us in when they gave us these more condensed seasons. But it just seems like once you get to the heat of it, it's just straightforward. Exactly, it's just straightforward, and it gives you everything you want. We get in story and everything, even with like. And I know when we get to spoiler talk, but we talked about the demons. Yeah, it's wild, but yeah. I don't know, bro. Yeah, same thing. A F.
Okay, and I think there's a few here that we haven't watched, but I'm gonna go to. Or you go. It's your turn. My fault. I guess did we grade Insomniacs after school? I don't think we did.
I don't think we gave it a grade. No.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go and hit that one. Insomniacs after school. Right now, it is an A for me. It's if anything of those I can give it as an A-. But yeah, I am thoroughly enjoying Insomniacs after school. It is one of my most enjoyable watches this season. Like I turn it on and it's hard for me to not enjoy every second of it.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Probably A. I can't go anything less. I was thinking of B+, but I can't go that because literally nothing about it is even warranted of that B. Yeah, because I enjoy it mostly more than everything else.
Yeah.
What did I give Hell's Paradise? Did I give Hell's Paradise an A? I should have. If I didn't, it's an A. But yeah,
you gave. I think you said A+.
Yep. No, I don't know. I would never give it an A.
You said A. You said A for sure. It wasn't an A.
Definitely an A. But so my 3 A's: Demon Slayer, Hell's Paradise, and Insomniacs, I think, are. Oh, well, okay. 4 A's, because I'm going to go ahead and go to my sleeper hit. The Galaxy Next Door is a fucking A for me, bro. It just doesn't, it hasn't missed. It hasn't dropped the ball at all. We talked about it earlier, so I'm not going to harken too much on it. It's a fucking A. Such enjoyable characters with character growth that is very much fun to watch. This fucking most recent episode, slight spoilers. Let's just say it had an 80-page manga in it, and it was the most beautiful, sweet, heart-punching thing ever. And it just gives you ideas to just, make that special someone smile, And I thought that was incredibly sweet. And I just love this show because it watching these two grow with each other at the same time has been special. Pregnant pause.
I'm just thinking about what was the show? More Than a Lover, but not. I'm thinking about that show. I'm thinking about The Angel Next Door, and I'm thinking about how The only thing we didn't get from those shows were 100% confirmation, right? And this show, we get the 100% confirmation.
Extremely early, yeah.
And we just get wholesomeness afterwards, bro. It's insane.
You don't think that could carry a show, but this proves that it can, man.
It's insane because it's so good. Because all it is literally just like love and light and goodness. That's all it is. That's all this show is. Even in this most episode, like with his friend or co-writer, whatever.
Cohort.
That's dope. That's dope. That all of that is just, it was cool. So yeah, A as fuck.
A as fuck. Danger's in My Heart. I have to go today because I think everything else we covered pretty much. Danger's in My Heart, I didn't give a grade for it. I'm going to give a grade for it now. I'm going to go B-. Again, a show that starts off very, very uncomfortably where you're like, I don't know if I can watch this shit. But you, again, quickly fall in love with it, as I said earlier. So I'm not going to rehash that. And then the Cafe Terrace and its goddesses. Oh boy, this one's good, man. Where does this one fall? I'm gonna go B- as well. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go B for this one because it's slightly better than The Dangers in My Heart. Because again, the characters are so intriguing. They're all very different personalities. It kind of reminds me of Quintessential Quintuplets in that regard, and it's quickly becoming close to Quintessential Quintuplets, but with a whole different spin. Because these are grown adults who have to navigate this cafe who was left by the main characters, the main guy, protagonist, his grandmother who passed away. And these girls were living under her while he left to Tokyo U, and now he has to try to manage this failing cafe with these girls, and it's fucking fun. It's a fun watch. Very funny, very silly. Girls are very again, no girl in this one I hate yet. Because at one point, which could be a bad thing, which could be a good thing, because while Quintessential Quintuplets had Nino, who I hated at first, I gradually grew to love. Maybe that's because I was so invested in Quintessential Quintuplets that like if you hate somebody, that means more than not. But this one, I don't hate anybody. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that particular aspect, but I do feel like it's worthy of the B. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. And I think with that said and done, that's everything, right?
Sound like it.
Bruh. What is our overall grade? What is Mike Check, Waifu, individual host, overall grade for this score? What you thinking? What you feel?
This season, looking at what I gave everything, I gotta put it at a B, almost like exactly.
How many A's you got?
I got Hell's Paradise, Assignments After School, Galaxy Next Door, and I think Oshinoko I gave an A.
Yeah. Okay. So sounds about right for you. For me, damn, that's crazy because I think I'm in the exact same place. Because I didn't give anything a D, but I also gave. What did I give that was higher than you? I can't remember. I should be writing my stuff down too. I think I gave something a C plus that you gave a D. Oh, that was just
I was going off median scores though. So not average, it's more like median.
You know, I know. That's how I guess that's how we grade differently. So that's what I'm just trying to figure out for myself. But I'm thinking I'm sitting around a B as well, because mostly everything is either B- is B+, and then I have mostly A's with those C's that are like 4 C's roughly. So yeah, it has to be a B. That's where I fall too. So overall, man, it's kind of unanimously the same across the board. So when we go, just to recap really, really quick, Nachi, one of the producers, shout out to you, a B. Kita gave it an A. Saphir gave it he said seeing a lot of B's, so I assume that's where he falls too, because he said he agrees. Rob, B+. TCB, a B. B+ for Rob J. B- for O. I think Jay Lee. Yeah, Jay Lee gave it an A-. Crystal, B/B-. We all fall around in roughly the same area. While we're all watching very different stuff, it all culminates to say that this spring is an overall B I mean, for not only us but our community as well. It seems.
B is for bussing.
Stop.
But no, I did the median of all the scores I wrote down. So for the listeners that we had, and then for our own personal scores as well, the median was actually just a B. So right in the middle, I feel like everyone has agreed that B is where we should be at.
Which makes this better than last season, because if I remember correctly, everybody was around C. Mm-hmm. Which is absolutely correct, because last season didn't have anything that was like, oof. You know what I'm saying? Like, that just grabbed us. While it had a lot of great stuff. And the one thing that did grab us was like Angel Next Door. A lot of other stuff was kind of like, you know?
I mean, yeah, I remember last season we had enough time to watch 4 seasons of Initial D, damn near. 3 seasons in a movie. And 4 or 5 seasons of Monogatari.
Most of the Monogatari series. That's absolutely correct. You're right. Which, again, makes sense because 16 shows we're consuming. With a couple of differences between the two of us, which, again, makes that incredible. Makes that fun. I love it, man. Great talk there. Let's do the spoiler talk. Right, an hour right on the money, huh? That's crazy.
Let's go.
All right, next when we come back from spoilers, we are going to spoil episode 6 of Demon Slayer. Episode 7, yeah. Oh, wow, 7 of Hell's Paradise. And where do we want to go? Do we want to slide something different in there? Probably not. Huh?
We can just do a Galaxy Next Door. I'm cool with that.
Okay, stick with a Galaxy Next Door. All right, we'll be right back after these. And welcome Black to episode 202 of Mic Check Waifu. This is the spoiler talk. We're going to spoil Demon Slayer, Hell's Paradise, and the Galaxy Next Door. All right, let's start. Demon Slayer, episode 6. Man, I was not okay. So we know that whatever the fuck Genya got going on is apparently a part of his breathing technique, and he can regenerate.
Genya can't breathe. He doesn't do the breathing technique.
Well, whatever he's doing, he can regenerate.
Yeah, and that was, I feel like, important for the end. So we know Genya isn't dead because he said he can't regenerate his head.
Specifically, right.
Right. So that's kind of dope. But it's like, it's weird.
Yeah.
What is it? Is he like part demon? Is that, and that makes me, it gives me like ideas about what happened with his mom, because I don't know what happened. We know that his mom was a demon, right? Mm-hmm. From the little backstory they gave us. But does his mom turn into is she like half demon? Is she like Inuyasha kind of person? I don't know what's going on.
He's been out during the day. Yeah. We saw him during the Demon Slayer test.
We saw his brother during the day too.
Yeah. So what is this technique that has him able to regenerate? And the only thing I think of is somewhere down the line, he became a demon. We haven't seen him during the daytime during this particular arc. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I truly can't say what it is. I don't know. I literally don't know. It's just, it was shocking to hear him say, I can't regenerate my head. I'm like, what are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he isn't dead because he's been stabbed over and over and over again. Now he's been speared he's been turned into Swiss cheese. So it's like, bro, what is happening right now?
Bro is missing whole sections of his body.
But you know what the coolest part about this episode was?
What was that?
Seeing Tanjiro's experience come to the light. And I fucking hate when I have to bring up the Demon Slayer haters, but they always say the story ain't that interesting. No character growth, blah, blah. You're wrong, man. You're wrong. Because this has been all about Tanjiro's experience that he's had with fighting other uppers that has made this such a good thing to see. He's moving, fucking grooving, and doing his thing during this fight. Like, it's fantastic to see. Sorry.
No, you're good. And what made that even better is the fact that they prefaced that at the beginning of the season. They literally told us that because of your constant interactions with these demons, right? Mm-hmm. Not just the lower moons, but the upper moons. Because of your constant interaction with these demons, your battle IQ is better now. You will learn how to react faster. You will evolve and grow faster than the others around you. Tanjiro don't have a choice. He keep running into trouble. He don't have a choice.
Straight demons.
It's straight demons, like not regular demons that he was fighting in episode 4.
Right.
These are the demons.
Episode 4, season 1, by the way.
yeah. Episode 4, season 1. These are the demons that be like, I'm gonna destroy everybody. Yeah. So it's kind of nice to see that. I will say I was a little disappointed in one aspect of this episode.
Talk to me.
We didn't get to see the other Hashira as much, right?
Bruh.
And it was only because we see Takoto, whatever his name is, poked a little bubble.
I didn't get to see my love Hashira, bro.
That's what I'm saying. We see Takoto poke a little bubble, and then he gone for the rest of the episode. Which, cool. At least we know he's still alive. But we ain't even seen the love Hashira. We don't know what's going on with her. Maybe next episode.
To be fair, I'm glad it didn't switch out. They only switched out of that fucking shit once. Like, they were in the shit. When I say in the shit, I mean in the action. They only switched out it once, and that was for Genya's backstory, which was awfully sad, which makes him very, very similar to Tanjiro, except he still has an older brother, which makes his situation just, a little bit better, if you will.
They both got siblings. It's just...
Yeah, and they're both slaughtered. But it's like, I don't know, man. It's very intriguing. It gave me a different perspective on him as a character because I hated him. only because he put his hand on that lady. While I still hate the fact that he did that in season 1, I'm a little bit more understanding, than where I was, which just shows great at making you do at quantifying people's situations, because everybody is in a situation of some sort, no matter who they are, how powerful they are, or how weak they are. They end some sort of situation that got them in this predicament. But I can't believe how impressed I am with these children, man, fighting people who are supernatural with regular swordsmanship skills. It's still such an impressive aspect of it. And I guess to make it even, they can only fight them during the nighttime. But that's all they can do. They ain't got no choice because they show up during the night, And I don't know. I just love this show so much.
I literally just thought about the fact that you said Genya and Tandra are so similar, but it's more like Genya or Genya's older brother and Tandra are similar because his older brother's got a son that's a demon, or younger brother that's a demon now.
We think.
We think. And Tandra got a sister that's a demon. I don't know, man. But hear me out. Mm-hmm. We talked about last week the method to killing this demon, right? He got to cut all 4 heads off at the same time. We found out that's clearly not the method.
Right.
But you got to cut up. The little one was still there the whole time. Now, when Tandro kind of initially said this, I was like, oh my God.
Right.
There's about to be another demon that's probably either stupid powerful or got some crazy gimmick. And they pull up to him and he was small. I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that. But what was even less expected of that was the fact that when Genya went in to cut him, he couldn't cut him. Mm-hmm. And I think that also was because of the fact that Tandro didn't know, because Tandro told him to cut him again or try again. But Tandro doesn't know that dude can't breathe. He can't do the demon breathing or the sword breathing techniques. So he will never be able to actually cut off like an upper moon's head. Mm-hmm. Which kind of sucks. But
that still virtually doesn't really matter because he shot him point blank too, and it didn't do anything either. So it's not just the fact that he can't cut the moon's heads or whatever, but he can't shoot him either. The gun was working against the other 4. So,
but the sword and the gun wasn't working against this one. Mm-hmm. And we always know that whatever part they have that's supposed to be protected is always super hard.
Yeah.
So if that one is the one that's supposed to be protected, it's going to be hard. He just is super small and, can't fight for himself.
To be fair, this helped my gut check from last week.
Yeah.
Because I was so worried about them needing to find another one and have to kill all 5 of them at the same time. With the way they were reacting, this means that you just have to cut the small one's head. You cut the small one's head, I think they all go away, which is fucking phenomenal. I'm so glad that the rule isn't some evolution that's insane. So while I think
play off something previous.
Yeah. So while I think the pot one hopefully is also a normal just head cut, which will still be extremely hard to do because he can move virtually anywhere. I think this one kind of relieved a lot of unnecessary thoughts in my head from just overthinking of what they could do with how to fix this current situation, which makes me happy. Like, he's small, so which means he's probably extremely hard to catch, which means he's probably extremely hard to cut, which means he's probably extremely hard, which is a good rule for this particular situation because who else would think of this? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like in this particular situation. So his I'm gonna call it plot armor. His particular plot armor is very unique and interesting, and I love the fact that it's still that way in this particular show. While I'm disappointed I didn't see the love Hashira, I do have a gut check, and I will say that she will show up in the most and at the most crazy times where Tanjiro is overwhelmed because he basically will be fighting these on his own with Nezuko, and they're gonna be struggling, and she's gonna pull up and she's gonna save the day. What you got?
I think Tandro's about to body bag this demon. And she's not gonna come help them with this one. I think this one is done for.
Oh, interesting.
But I think that she's gonna pull up to help Tokido, or whatever his name is, Tokido, the one who keeps forgetting everything. She's gonna pull up to help him. And I think that she has to pull up to help him because we do know a couple of different things. The sword he has that's not really his sword. He never got his sword. It was chipped, damaged, broken, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which they made it a point to show.
He hasn't been able to fight at full capacity. So I think what they're going to show is that once he has a chance to fully like break free, he's going to pop off. But then this demon's probably going to have something else up his sleeve. So that's what I'm predicting, that he's gonna get help from the Love Hashira, and then that's when things will really get silly.
So
like
you
crazy.
telling me your thought process is that Tanjiro is strong enough to solo the upper 4, while 2 Hashiras needing to fight the upper 5?
I think Tanjiro can cut this demon's head off. Yes,
That's interesting. And if that happens, Tanjiro becomes Hashira.
And my personal opinion is that Tokido is strong enough in his own right to beat probably this Hashira, but he hasn't had he hasn't had his sword, that kind of stuff. Don't know for sure, but also, it could just be the gimmick.
True. Well, that was a good one. Moving on. Hell's Paradise, man. Oh my God, this information drop was crazy. It was so good. For one, the most important information drop that we got was the fact that this island's real name, very, very important. Okay. This island has layers that are also very, very important. And then the people who own this island who protect something that we didn't even know if it was real or not, which is the elixir of life, which is real. Is so fucking interesting. I'm so glad that it's moving at this pace to where, while we're intrigued and captivated by what's going on, we get more information that's propelling the story forward faster than most shonen do. And it's probably because this is a 13 episode run and not like a 24 like Fire Force or Bleach or something like that. But wow, so good, impressive.
So hear me out. My favorite part of this episode was the fact that, just like we talked about in previous or about previous anime and other anime, there was 2 stories being told at the same time. One with the brothers and one with the rest of our characters. The rest of our characters are acquiring information. As they are acquiring that information, when things happen, there's also a demonstration with 2 characters who are experiencing that situation firsthand. And we're seeing exactly what's happening while they're experiencing it
as they converge.
I feel like that might be a good storytelling element, a good plot device. I'm not trying to tell any other anime how to do it, but you know what I mean. I think that was dope. And they did it while making some parts kind of playful. But also we got to see things like Gabimaru's like temperament and mentality kind of shift a little bit, with him going back and thinking about like his wife and what his true ambitions and goals are.
Right.
This episode was good, bro. And it didn't have to do a lot, but I just think it was so good with what they gave us. And it didn't have to be about the action. We just got a ton of action. But the context, the detail, the perspective of the future, fire, bro.
Right. And the fact that everybody that is native to this island basically has the elixir of life, essentially. They're unkillable.
And sorry. The other thing about that is that we found out that you can get blessings from the elixir of life, right? Now, the effigy or Groot looking character, he got the regeneration, obviously, right? But what are the other blessings? Right. They give you details without telling you everything, you know what I mean? So I got one of its blessings and show what that one blessing was, but what are the rest? What is the true thing of this, and why are, in my perspective, we find out about the Tensen, who are the guardians of this island, make sure that humans never leave the island. But my thought with that is that if they are so overwhelmingly powerful, why do they stay on this island? Is it because they need a constant resource of the elixir?
My thought process is that this island is just the island of the gods. Basically, it's just to remain. It's titled Hell's Paradise, but I think I said this prior. I think this is heaven. I think that people that gets wrongly judged are destroyed by the people who are getting destroyed, i.e. the brothers with the Tencent. Maybe if those were good humans, they would be better off. But I think that they don't let anybody leave this island is because this secret has to be protected at all costs, even though some knowledge managed to get leaked that there's a form of elixir, which we saw at the beginning of the season, which came from the dude who was that the shogunate showed that was purely of the flowers. He was able to mention that, hey, this elixir of life is real, or whatever the case may be. And that, again, the development of information of this show is so spectacularly done that it just makes me understand why this was such a huge popular manga and why everybody was so excited when they were saying this was coming out to be an anime. I would never forget it. The minute this got mentioned, I'm like, oh God, another one of these shonen that's about to be overhyped by the manga people who just can't let shit rest. And they were right. They were absolutely right. This shit is spectacular. This is way better than anything else that they've ever hyped up. I want to be 100% of it. Like Tokyo Revengers, shitting on it, in my opinion. Shitting on it. Well, I like Tokyo Revengers fine, but this is just better, man. This is just better. Crazy good. What's your gut check? What's next for this? Our ragtag group. Are the brothers dead?
No. But I don't know how they stay alive. That's the thing. I'm gonna say yes because I want them to be, and not that because they're bad guys, but I want them to be because I want them to know that this shit you're not spared here, and that's just me personally. Sorry, I just had to. I think it would be good for story elements 100%, but I don't think they die. Yeah, probably right. I feel like they don't die because they tell the main characters what they've seen. And then they can be fodder after that. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm not sure. Like they gotta, because our characters are they believe what's going on, but they're not sure what's going on or what they were told. You know what I mean?
Well, they have no choice but to believe them. I think, because why would they lie?
That's what he's saying. You know, but Gabimaru still didn't 100% believe him. He just knows the elixir is supposed to be there. That's all he's going for. So my gut check is this: they're probably not dead yet. They're probably going to see them when they're covered with flowers. Maybe that's what it is. Because I said, I guess they don't die, right? Yeah. The flowers, like they live forever, basically, at that point.
Yep, they become food for wow, yeah.
Maybe that, but I think that they're going to make a plan. I don't think they're going to go straight for the center next episode.
No, you have to, right? Like you can't. Yeah. I don't know if you can just go.
And with Gabimaru doing his thought transition, you know, when he said, like, you know what, he's not letting anything else get in his way. I feel like he's really going to be on demon time. So I think he's going to make a plan. He going to turn into Batman. He going to figure out how to kill Superman by himself. And then he going to go to the center.
Interesting. Might be onto something there. I'm kind of in the same boat as you, but I think they're going to, the deeper they go, the harder they fall. Pun intended. I mean, like, look, I think they're just going to run into some shit that's going to be a problem. Yeah. What I'm just wrapping my head around is that they killed a lot of the prisoners already. We only got a real small few like left.
Yeah, and we know the girl and that dude. Mm-hmm. The ninja girl, her dude, the brothers.
That's all we know of so far. So I mean, maybe there's more. Maybe there's a different group of batch. The dude that got his hand chopped, they had to cut off his hand because he got stung by that bee with the human face. They're still around, I think, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know, man. This is dog. I don't see no tournament arc. I don't see no training arcs. This has nothing of the the training arcs,
But it's action art.
Yeah, it hasn't needed it. And I just can't wait to see what else is cooking up with between Gabi Maru and his ability. Even Konoichi was interesting when she drunk whatever the fuck that was and made herself all gooey and destroyed the tree dude. I don't know, man. I love it. So far, so good. So far, so good. And then last but not least, I guess we don't have to touch on this too long, but A Galaxy Next Door has been continued to be spectacular. That 80-page manga that he wrote
beautiful.
Of what's her name's fucking great traits is just my heart fell because it was such a fucking sweet thing to do. And then watch him just pop. And when she said it's 80 pages and she started crying, I'm like, oh damn, that's crazy. She felt that was from the heart, and that was great, man. That was great.
I was expecting way more like chaos, right? I don't know. After they gave us that episode where like her family on the island was thinking about her,
it's still coming.
It is right, but I'm so happy that they kind of dropped it off. Right, they let us think that that happened, and then they gave us this episode of just like humble wholesomeness. As I keep saying, the wholesomeness.
Yes,
it's beautiful, bro. It's like it's direct. He didn't know how to say it, so he did what he knows best.
He didn't know how to put it into words. Even writing a letter, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna just make a manga out of it. It evolved as it gradually went on, which I thought was a character of it. Which I thought it was a nice characterization of his character. Mm-hmm. Evolution, probably be a better, easier word there.
Yeah, this episode was amazing. For all of its simplicity all of its excellence, it was amazing. Like I said, with the other manga creator, right? The fact that he's like, you got a friend or someone who's in love with you. He's like, oh yeah, we're dating. Like that. We never got that so bluntly in anything else, bro. Yes. We never get it so bluntly. And I watched
hundreds and hundreds of slice of life, and I never got that.
It's just, yes, we're dating, and that's what it is. So if she's in love with me, I guess so, right? It was great, bro. Just to hear that in itself was fire. It
was so fire. What got me too is the flashback of her childhood, of how sheltered she actually was. And while, again, man, the culture of the monarchies and stuff like that sucks for people like this in this particular situation, you start to understand why the kings of pasts, like King Henry's and all the motherfuckers from history times from the 1700s or whatever the case may be, all failed. Because this shit, it can't work. When you grow up like that, this shelter, you become egotistical and just disgustingly, spoiled. And you can become a bad human. You can literally become a bad human being from that. And I'm glad she just wasn't that. She wanted to be more than just that. She wanted to be a part of everything else, seeing everybody enjoy themselves in that way. And I don't know, man. I love the way it kind of executes this particular monarchy situation. I love it. Sorry, it was hard to find the words there.
More about like stepping outside of that monarchy situation. Yes, you know what I mean?
Her being able to. But I do think with the fact that her family and everybody has been unable to reach her, like we got last episode, I think that's going to come back and bite us in a way that where she gets dragged back, and that comes with the sadness from my gut check. And to be honest, I'm here for it. I don't want it, but it's probably going to happen.
I don't want it.
It's probably going to happen, and it's probably going to be written so well and delivered even better.
They got to give us some drama, don't they?
Facts. And with that, I'm at Polo Bornfly on all social media.
I'm at King Taliano on all social media.
You can follow our social media is at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, Mike check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?